Welcome to another Numismatic Notes with Benjamin. I am Benjamin, and I am a nostalgic Benjamin, and this is Numismatic Notes with Benjamin. This banknote is full of memories for me because as you look on it, you see a guy who's wearing a somewhat cowboy-esque hat. You see another cowboy on horseback. You see horses galloping on this note. It just hits a lot of memory points that I have in my life. And when you look at this side of the note, well, it doesn't really hit much memory marks for me. On this side, you do have a window right over here that does bring back so many fond memories, and that's a windmill. I grew up with those. I grew up in the Panhandle of Oklahoma, which is the United States' version of the Outback. And we had windmills in just about every field that we would have cattle or horses in. And it was always pumping water up to a horse tank of some sort, a couple of feet deep, and maybe up to 30 feet across. And that water was ice cold, and it was the best water. We would swim in those tanks. We would get as bare as we dare, and we would go swimming in that cool water. And sometimes if it was in an empty field, it wasn't strange for a farm kid to just stick their face in the water and get a drink if they needed it. Anyway, that prompted me to think what kind of banknotes exist out there that have windmills, and I found some. And I want to just share with you today different kinds of mills, wind-powered, that can be found on banknotes. And I'm sure these are not an explicit list, but I do have about 5 or 6 notes I'm going to show you in this theme. I want you to like and subscribe to this channel, and if you can add to our knowledge and add to windmills on banknotes, I'd really appreciate it if you would cuss and discuss with me and tell us in some comments. Let's get started. This is a $10 bill from Australia, and like I already showed you, it has a windmill as I perceive windmills to be whenever I was growing up. Love those notes. We're going to move over to Africa for the next note in the family. And this is actually a Moroccan 100 dirham, or dirhams. And we have the present king of Morocco. And the back of this note shows, pardon me, it shows camels. But in addition to camels, it shows a tent. So there's a couple of themes there. And in the background, you see some modern windmills. And in this case, Oklahoma has a bunch of these as well. But I believe these are windmills that are used to generate some sort of electricity. And it looks to me like the people on the camels might even have some weapons. So it ticks a whole lot of marks. Let's move to the Caribbean and look at this 2 banknote of Barbados. And here we have... this isn't part of the theme, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. This is a $2 bill, and this gentleman on the banknote is John Redmond Bovell, and his descendant, also a Bovell, is who signed the banknote. So anyway, that's cool. But the whole reason this is included in this theme group is because on the back of the note we have this beautiful windmill. And this is a windmill that as a child I used to watch on movies, and I would see people jump onto a big wing of the windmill and ride it. Ride it like it was an amusement park. And as a child I always thought, ooh, that would be a lot of fun. But this is a beautiful blue banknote, and I love it. We're going to move to Europe for the next note. This is from Denmark, and this is a 10 kroner that has Hans Christian Andersen and some storks on the face of the note. And on the back of the note, a lovely rural scene with a windmill here in the background. It's kind of beautiful, if you ask me. Absolutely beautiful. I wonder what this little mark is. I wonder... Okay, so it's just the magic of the note. Let's see if I can't get rid of it. Ooh, I was able to. My skills are improving, y'all. Let's move to the next banknote, which is in Africa on a Kenyan 50 shilling. We should have a windmill somewhere on this kind of plummy red, purple looking banknote. Very pretty colors, if you ask me. And then when you turn it over, here's why it is amazing. It looks like we have some windmills over here to the left end of the banknote. And again, the kind that we have here in Oklahoma, but the kind that is used around the world for electricity. I don't know how close y'all have been to those things. Those things are huge. And when they break down and have to be replaced, I'm not sure just how cost effective they really are. But I admit that I don't know much about the matter. So we're going to move to the Middle East for this next note. This is a 10 Larot from Israel. And we have this guy. I'm trying to remember who he is. I'm thinking Montefiore, but I may be completely wrong or saying his name wrong. But on the back of the note, we have a lovely... Well, why is this note on here? We have a lovely city gate, and I'm like, wait, shouldn't we have a windmill somewhere on here? Oh, let's turn it back over and look. I was too quick to turn the note over. Here behind the gentleman, the beheaded gentleman, we have a windmill. And I believe that windmill is still standing and can be seen and maybe even toured in Israel to this day. Interesting. It looks like a Dutch windmill to me. Not necessarily the windmills you might have been thinking of, but they are windmills nonetheless. I am Numismatic Notes with Benjamin. If you have not thought about liking or subscribing to my channel, please do so. Cuss and discuss. Leave some comments and add to our list of themes of windmills on banknotes. Have a jewel of a day.